All right, so what we're looking at here is probably one of the most dreaded types of problems for most college algebra students is the factor problem. So I know you've probably heard a lot of different methods in your life, AC and multiply this and add to that. And I'm going to try to teach you how to use the calculator to do this process. And I know that some of you may not be as comfortable with the calculator right now, but I'm here to tell you that the sooner you start playing around with the calculator, the happier you're going to be throughout this class. And while it seems uncomfortable at first, you'll definitely get better at it with practice. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take advantage of the idea that a factor of an equation is really where the equation equals 0 is what we're trying to find. And so when I add that 0 in, what I have in front of me is what I refer to as a something equals something setup. And so anytime I have this type of setup, I take care of the problem the exact same way every single time. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first something and put that into y1. I'm going to take my second something, I'm going to put that into y2. And then from there, I'm going to hit the graph button. And then I'm going to go second, calc, and then number 5, which is our intersect button. And we're going to find the places where these two graphs run into each other. And then we're going to do a little bit of extra work after that, but that's going to be how we start. So let's go ahead and pull up our calculator, and we're going to go into our y equals area, and we'll enter our first something, 2x squared plus 23x, and then plus 45. And then we'll go down, and in y2 we're going to enter 0. And from there we'll go ahead and graph. And we can see that the two intersects are where the red line and the blue line are running into each other. And so the first thing we'll do is go second, and then calc, which is above the trace button on the top row there. So calc, and then we want number 5, which is the intersect. And it's going to ask us 3 questions. Again, the first 2 questions we don't care about. It's saying, is that the first curve? And it's showing which one it's talking about up at the top there. So yep, that's our first curve. Then it's going to ask us if that's our second curve, and it automatically hops to the second curve for us, and yep, that's our second curve. And then guess, we could go to either one we want to go to. I'm going to go ahead and zoom all the way over to the far left curve to begin with. And then once you're more than halfway, you can go ahead and hit enter. It's always going to find the one that it's closest to begin with. And so right there, we end up getting out that x equals -9 is one of our answers. We pull up our calculator again, and now we're just going to start the process again. We're going to go second, calc, and then we want again number 5 intersect. The first 2 questions we're not concerned with. We're just going to hit enter, and then enter again on the second curve. And then when it asks us to guess, now we are going to scroll back over to the right now until we're closer to that first intersect, and we hit enter. So this time it's giving us out a decimal there. You can see that our answer is x equals -2.5. In order to do this properly, we're going to need to turn that value into a fraction. And so what we want to do is, and this is again, seems convoluted, but again, these skills will come to you the more you practice them. So we're going to go second, quit, and then we just want to go into our math button and hit enter on fraction. And what that's going to do is it's going to grab our answer of -2.5 and turn it into a fraction for us. And so what we get out of there is x is equal to -5/2. So we come back and we write that down on our page and we say x is equal to -5/2. And so from here we go ahead and just solve to get zeros again on the right hand sides of these equations. So I'm just going to add 9 and add 9, and so on this first one I end up with x plus 9 equals 0. When I have fractions, fractions are going to be a 2-step process. The first thing that we want to do is start by multiplying by the number that's on bottom to get it out of there. So you're going to multiply both sides by 2. So out of here we end up with 2x equals, and then our 2 on top is going to cancel our 2 on bottom, and so we're just left with -5. And now we're just trying to get 0 by itself over here. So we want to add 5 and add 5. So we end up with 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. And so now we have our answer. Our answer is going to be 1x plus 9 times 2x plus 5. And while it may not have been your first instinct to use the calculator to do this, I guarantee you that the more you practice these and the more you try to get this down, this method is going to work for you in ways that just the whole guess and check method may not necessarily be your best friend. So I hope it does for you what it does for me, and good luck.